So in my last video talking about Summer House, the news of Amanda and West was actively breaking as I was filming and editing the video. And then they finally confirmed their relationship on Instagram, literally like right as I was about to be done editing and posting the video. So I had to kind of add that in at the end. So I haven't really been able to talk about everything post their relationship, their situationship announcement. So I wanted to talk more about that. I've been out of town and have had a hard time getting back into the swing of life. So we're going to be talking about some of the things that have happened since they've confirmed their relationship online. I have a lot of catching up to do, so we're going to be kind of maybe jumping around a little bit, but there's some specific interpersonal relationships, things that have happened on the show since that announcement has happened. So I'm going to be talking more about the show. There's a lot of stuff that's happened on social media and Watch What Happens Live, but that is like such another universe of information that like would take me so much longer in this video. I might reference it, but I'm mostly going to be talking about what's happening on the show because it's interesting to see now with kind of fresh eyes. So I'm going to be talking about some of the dynamics between certain people, specifically Ciara and West's relationship on the show, Kyle, Amanda / Ciara's relationship on the show, as well as the West Amanda situation on the show and how that kind of all connects to what's currently happening. Every week, every time an episode comes out, I'm like, I have to make a video, I have to talk about this. And then I wait too long and then a new episode comes out and I'm like, well, now I have to watch this and wait and make a video and talk about it. So I feel like every week the dynamic of what's happening on the show just gets weirder and weirder, especially now knowing that West and Amanda are together. I think now it's hard to watch it knowing what we know now because we're kind of looking at it through a different lens than we were a few weeks ago. Before we knew all this information, we were definitely, there was like much more rooting for Amanda. She was kind of having her Ariana Madix moment, and how that's all kind of flipped on its head. And now Ciara is sort of becoming the Ariana Madix of the show is so crazy. And I mean, I love Ciara, so like I'm so happy she's, you know, getting her flowers, but at the same time it is crazy to see how fast the tides have turned on Amanda. And it's hard. I don't want to like hate on her too much. Like I don't want to give her like too much of a pass, but I also think that like people give West a lot of grace where they don't give her as much. I see a lot more hate towards her than West, and in my opinion, all of this in culmination with the last couple of years of the way he's kind of acted towards Ciara, to me just comes across like he's just a total fuckboy. And I don't know, it's hard to have like any respect for him. He just seems like a real D-bag. So, okay, so first let's talk about the West and Ciara situation. I don't even fully understand how they got to this whole like, let's have a conversation about our friendship. And then they sort of like made up. And she, like I saw people pointing this out, she apologized to him. And I understand she was being icy towards him, but like not for no reason. Like there's been a reason. Like she's protecting herself from his shenanigans, which we have now, it's now pretty obvious what he's been up to behind the scenes. And then has the audacity to be like actively flirting with her while he's kissing another girl at the party that they had. There's a lot of things. He just has his hands in all the honeypots all at once. Like he cannot get enough. He's total fuckboy. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad to see it, and how it's sad to see girls just like, especially like Ciara, it's like sad to see her so willing to go back to like fall into the trap of him. It's just, it's so painful to watch. Because here's the thing, like it would be one thing if it was genuinely just like we're agreeing to be like pleasant to each other and friends. That's fine. But I know that's what West is hearing when they talk about it, and what Ciara is hearing is, oh, so there's a chance. Oh, so we're going to be building back to where we were 2 years ago. That's, I know, like I can tell ever since they had that conversation that she's definitely like, she's much more cozy with him. She's like they're flirting. They did a preview this week for like, I guess they kiss again after, I don't know what was going on, but they're making out. I know in Ciara's mind, she's like, we're gonna be different. This is gonna be different. You're not gonna like play with my feelings and my heart. Like, it's so painful because as a girl, I'm like, I know what she's thinking compared to like, he's just like, oh, we're good, we're friends. Like he doesn't want the smoke. He doesn't want her to be angry at him. and he wants to be able to be his little fuckboy self, and like he wants to be able to have the convenience to like flirt with her and then like go out and like find other chicks at the bar. Like he wants it all, but like he doesn't really care about Ciara, obviously, as we will come to know. It's just so painful, and the whole dynamic in their talk of like her apologizing for being icy. The dynamics after that conversation have just been it's just so odd to me. I'm not sure I totally understood like the purpose of that conversation to begin with, other than like a genuine, let's be friends. But like I said, that's clearly not how Ciara is thinking of it. And it's so painful to watch. Like, yeah. You can tell that like even Mia has brought up like, oh, he's still in love with you, or he still likes you, or you're still in love with him. Like, there's definitely been conversation brought up of like, I think you guys still have feelings for each other, and that's why it's like awkward and you don't know how to feel, because it's like you want to be mad, but you also you know how good it was when you guys were getting along and you liked each other. So it's like, I understand wanting to get back to that dynamic, but like there's deeper feelings involved than just friendship here, and it's clearly not just friendship. There's stronger dynamics. I don't know if he realizes that in the moment on the show, or if he knows and like I said, he's taking advantage of it. That could be a possibility, but which I guess is probably more likely that he knows that she has feelings and like knows she really wants to like kind of get back to that place. But I don't know. I just feel like he's really taking advantage of her in the situation. Obviously, he knows that she probably still has feelings to an extent and is taking advantage of that. So I don't know. The whole conversation was really infuriating between the two of them. Now we're gonna get into I'm trying to think of which direction I should go for first. Probably Kyle and Amanda plus Ciara and West. It kind of all plays into each other. So let's talk about Kyle and Amanda. Now, this past episode that just aired, there was a lot going on. It's a lot of different dynamics. Like I said, especially with knowing what we know now, I think you see all of the different wheels turning behind the scenes that we didn't quite know we wouldn't have known otherwise at the time what was going on. So at the time of when they were recording this season, Ciara throughout the season has brought up maybe it's a good idea that Amanda and Kyle take a bit of separation for just a little bit to figure out like what they really want. Maybe space would help them in their relationship and just take time apart. On face value, like I don't think there was a problem with her necessarily bringing that up as a friend, as a third party, somebody close to the situation who could bring it up. Somebody who's objective looking at the situation, just being like, maybe you guys need to go just to your separate corners, take a breather, and then come back. I felt like her just saying that to Kyle like wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. I don't think she like handled it or worded it in the best way necessarily, because then Kyle gets in his head, oh, this is a conversation that Ciara and Amanda have talked about, and this is not something Amanda has brought up in our therapy and our working on our relationship. This is not a conversation she has brought up. She's sending her friend to do this, and it's making him feel even more isolated from the group, but especially Amanda, which I can't say I totally blame him, because like I said, I don't think Ciara worded it in the best way by saying that like her and Amanda had talked about this. I could understand how it comes across to Kyle as like, this is something that has been talked about behind my back, and it's kind of like feeling a little ambushy, especially since it's very apparent throughout the season too with him that like he feels very isolated. Amanda kind of pushes his button, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to defend Kyle and say that like he's a grown man. He needs to learn how to like control and regulate his emotions. I know it makes for like good TV, but when all of your friends just see you like yelling and screaming at your wife all the time, like it's not a good look. It doesn't make you look good. It doesn't, and it's hard because this episode specifically, I think it kind of became apparent, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but it became apparent that, to me at least, that Amanda is egging him on to like make him look like crazy, and she's riling him up. She's riling him up to make him look a little insane. And so when ultimately they get divorced, she's trying to Ariana Maddox herself into a divorce, basically. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I understand throughout this season, I think Kyle he's obviously feeling like alone. He doesn't feel like Amanda really cares about what he does. It's hard on one end. I feel for Amanda, like at the beginning of the season when it's like he goes out and he hangs out with strangers and fans, and he's out till 3, 4 in the morning, sleeping over at fans' houses. That's totally inappropriate and not okay. Like, and in no way do I justify that dynamic. It's interesting because I believe they're both Leos, and it's kind of interesting because they both seem to really want the same thing from each other, but kind of weirdly refuse to give it to each other at the same time. And I don't know, it must be the way in which they kind of express that love or attention is just not what the other one needs, because Kyle is much more extroverted, Amanda's much more introverted. Obviously, like, Kyle likes to go out and have fun and meet people, talk to people, like he's an extrovert, and she doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to go out and stay out all night. But it's interesting because it's like she's mad that he's out doing stuff, not giving her attention. But when he comes back and like does give her attention on the show, or does try to give her any attention, she doesn't really embrace it. Like, I think maybe it's just because it's been going on so long and she's just fed up and is like, giving me any attention at this point is like a lost cause because I've just had it. But she's very cold like to him about it. It's like he's finally giving you the attention you want, but you like refuse to accept it. And like I said, could be because it's a lost cause at this point. I don't know, but it felt for a long time like she's constantly pushing him away or holding him at arm's length when he tries to come and like give her attention. And I think because she pushes him away a little bit, he's then like, okay, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I want to do. And like, because he also wants the attention, but it's just, he's capable of finding it in a different way. And that's through other people's attention because he has that extroverted side. So I don't know. That's just my analysis on like, it's so interesting to me. Like they really have the same desire for their relationship, but they refuse to kind of accept it or give it to each other. And it's obvious too that like Kyle, yeah, like he's looking for that kind of like, he's a true, I feel like true Leo. He really wants the praise and acknowledgement, and he wants a lot of love, and she wants the love, but I don't know, just not in the way Kyle wants to give it. So I don't know. It's a whole weird dynamic that they've gotten themselves into. It would be really interesting to see their birth charts. So I'm sure they're out there somewhere. I probably have to go look for them. But anyway, I don't think that like on its face, like I said, Ciara being a third party, like I don't think it would have been bad for her to say something just as a friend going to them out of genuine concern and love. Like, I don't want you guys to break up, but something needs to change. So anyway, because of that conversation, then later on that day, Kyle's obviously spiraling, thinking about that. And then when at dinner that night, when he's sort of talking about having this agent or whatever, to which he already talked to Amanda about. He already said that he had an agent that's getting him better gigs and stuff for his DJ stuff. And then it kind of gets lost in the noise of everything, but Amanda sort of subtly brings up that Kyle has this potential residency or something, some show or whatever in Vegas. And it comes across very much like, oh, he's leaving me and going to Vegas and he's going to be there a lot. And then of course, Lindsay comes in and is like, well, let's talk about it. Why are you doing that? Like she wants to have a full-blown conversation about something that they haven't had the ability to talk about in private, and wants to like have a full-blown conversation about this at the dinner table. It's like, no, like Kyle, this is a better way Kyle could have handled the situation. I know it's reality TV, so like, don't get me wrong. It makes for good reality TV to have the argument out in the open, but if I were him, I would have been like, this is a conversation I need to have with my wife privately, and then like I will be willing to talk about this with you. But like we have not had the capability of having this conversation just between us. So like this is not a conversation I'm willing to have right now in front of everyone. And it just like pissed me off too, because Amanda really, this is my metaphor for it, like she throws the ball up and then like Lindsay comes and spikes it. It's interesting to really kind of replay some of the situations that have happened over the summer and how much Amanda has tried to paint herself as the victim. Like I said, not trying to like wipe away anything Kyle has done, because I don't think he handles anything very well. He doesn't handle criticism or anything very well, but at the same time, Amanda knows how to push his buttons, and I think she's constantly trying to make him look like a crazy person in front of everyone. So that way she can Ariana Madix herself into fame or into, you know, like admiration for like, you go girl, like just like girl power, like fuck him, fuck that man. And I get it. Like Kyle, like I said, I'm really not trying to defend Kyle, but because he has done stuff that is bad. And I think Kyle can and has to an extent acknowledged that like what he's done in the past is bad, like cheating on Amanda, staying at fans' houses, like that stuff's newer. But the cheating part is so interesting too, because it's becoming more and more apparent to me that like Amanda has not let that go. And I understand that's a hard thing to let go of, but that happened before you guys were married. And if you knew that was going to be an issue in your marriage, then you shouldn't have gotten married. If you were going to be able to somewhat move past that and kind of start anew, you just shouldn't have gotten married. Like if that was something you were gonna harbor for your whole relationship, like it's not an easy thing to get over, but to an extent, that was you knew that going into your marriage, and all the stuff that has happened since then is not good. Like I said, it's just clear that she has not, like that is still in the back of her mind. So obviously when all of this new stuff comes up, it doesn't help that that's like in the back of her mind. At the end of the day, she still really doesn't trust him, and she doesn't trust him to be faithful to her, I guess. I don't know. And I'm not saying it's not for no reason. But then this fight and argument about him going to Vegas kind of escalates when he says fuck you to Amanda.
He's been running around the country, time take you can get to build a career.
No, you're making this.
Kyle.
Hey, I know.
No, but
I know
those are not going to be okay.
I agree. That's the one thing I've
anything.
stood up for all summer. Don't say that.
If you want to say you say it to me. It's coming
look
from
at
me, not from
me.
her. It's literally not coming from her.
I'm not even chiming into the conversation.
It's not her. She has not said anything to me
We
at
didn't even
all.
know this.
All right, guys, then guess what? Stop being mountains out of molehills. Like, this is ridiculous.
I'm
Talk
not.
to Lindsay,
I'm
look at Amanda,
literally
you're
just
fine.
saying, like,
But I really don't blame, like, I really feel like she has egged him on, like, in every situation. She knows how exactly to push his buttons. She knows how to rile everyone up against, especially the girls. I think she knows how to rile everybody else up against Kyle. So I don't blame Kyle, too, for in that moment being like, okay, she wants to leave me, and now she's, like, talking shit about me with Ciara. And then, obviously, in this situation, she's bringing this up, and now Lindsay is also against me. And Amanda's just kind of sitting there letting other people doing her dirty work and like kind of smirking and laughing to herself. I don't blame Kyle Ring. Like, fuck it. Like, I mean, I agree. Like, it definitely doesn't look good in the moment. I can see how everybody else is like, you can't talk to Amanda that way. And I get it. But when you really feel like the one person who's supposed to be on your side is just laughing at you and like laughing at everybody else, tearing you down and, you know, preying on your downfall, basically, it would be maddening. It would just be so maddening to like, I totally understand how he feels. Like, he feels like there's a wall of people. It's like them against me. And then obviously Carl gets involved and they start fighting about their own stuff that they're mad about. I think deep down he loves Kyle, and I don't think he like really wants to fight with him or like argue about stupid shit. Like, he knows deep down like, okay, whatever, you didn't invest in my bar. And I don't think he like really wants to fight about it. I think he's just like, he got it out, and then it's like, okay. But in that moment, it's like literally everyone, like Carl, Lindsay, like two people who I've known since the beginning of the show, like coming at me. That would just be, it'd be like, I'm really fucked. Like, I'm the only, it's just me. And like, not even my own spouse or the people I've known longer than my spouse. Like, nobody is on my side. That would just be like, fuck you guys. I totally understand how he feels in that moment. It does feel hard to like, and I totally forgot to mention this. What's even crazier is in the moment when they start fighting, Kyle and Amanda and Lindsay. This is where West kind of gets brought into this dynamic. It's kind of interesting to see, like I said, knowing what we know now, it's interesting to see. I don't know if they're editing more things in now that we know that they're together, but it's interesting to see West bring his chair over to Amanda and the way he's been defending her and standing by her, and their conversations and the way they hold each other and touch each other. Like, he like weirdly goes to her and like hugs her and kisses her on the head and is just like holding her. It is so weird. It is so weird because I'm like, even before all of this stuff, like they're all very touchy-feely with each other. They say things that are very like very cozy, and like all of them, like Jessie and all the girls, and they're all very cozy to each other on a level that like I don't think most people are with their friends. If it weren't for what we know now, I probably wouldn't really think much about it. But knowing what we know now, it's like, whoa, that's really weird. That's really weird. It's really weird to see you guys so cozy with each other, because it also feels like it sort of came out of nowhere. And that's also why I don't blame people for kind of questioning this whole timeline between them, because they're claiming it didn't start till like, I don't know, February, I think is when they said. But then seeing the show from last year and seeing how cozy they were with each other, it's very weird. Even if they weren't together, it does seem like he was maneuvering to be the knight in shining armor for her in that moment. Like, regardless of when they got together, like it is weird how you were moving in. Like you saw the opening. You know, you saw the end of this relationship and you moved in and got right in line. Like, that's kind of how it feels. And especially it was so weird because like Jessie and Ciara and Wes were all like hanging out on the front porch when like after the fight was happening, and they were still, stuff was going on inside. And the way like Wes is actively like holding and hugging Amanda, and then like goes out to like hang out with Ciara, and then they start flirting. I was like, oh, I can't take it. It's so painful. It's so painful like how close Ciara was to like some of this weird stuff going on, and the way she like doesn't see it. It's really painful. I can't imagine watching that as her in retrospect, looking at it and be like, oh my God, like I feel like such an idiot. It was like right in my face. Like they're hugging and like he's kissing her on the head. It's like so weird. This is so weird. I can't imagine what that would feel like to like watch that back. I'm trying to remember what else there is in the episode, but the last thing I kind of remember happening that I wanted to talk about was the fight has kind of ended. Carl and Kyle work it out on the remix and they make up and they're like buddy. Also, it was so cute to see them like hugging and really talking, and like Kyle being vulnerable. So they make up, and then Kyle goes to talk to Amanda. This is just another example, I feel like, of how Amanda really, like, I don't blame him for feeling like an outsider, because then like Amanda's hanging out with Ciara and Mia in their bed, clearly talking about him, and then like he comes to talk to her and apologize, and she like won't get up, get out of the bed or whatever, and like just go privately talk with him. And so it has to be this awkward like foursome conversation, even though like Mia and Ciara don't say anything, but it is this like awkward like conversation. And I if I were him too, it's like 3 against 1, like here we go again. And then it was annoying too, because he was talking and I was listening very intently because I was like, I want to hear what he's saying, but I feel like he was trying to explain how he felt in that moment. Like, I felt like you were smirking and laughing at me, and that's why I got crazy and like said fuck you, because it just felt like you were just laughing at me. And even though he was doing the explainer or whatever, it was like, but he still said, I'm sorry. And then he obviously is like, you know, he's not getting anything from her. So it's like, okay, I guess bye, you know, like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm sorry. And then he leaves the room and she's like, I didn't hear an apology, did you? And it's like, he literally said, I'm sorry. I understand like whether or not it's genuine or whatever. He said sorry. Like, what do you mean? He literally said, I'm sorry. And then for her to have the audacity to tell her friends, like, I didn't hear an apology. Was that an apology? Or whatever she said. I even rewound. Rewound like a VHS tape. I went back and watched the scene again. And I was like, he literally says, I'm sorry. And then you have the audacity to sit there and be like, I didn't hear an apology. Because you weren't listening. You're so out. You just want to make him look like an ass. Like, you don't care. And it's hard because he also says, like, he's kind of talking to himself when he goes back to their room, and it's just like, she wants me to be the one to initiate the divorce. And I was like, yeah, it seems like she wants him to initiate it, make him look like the bad guy, like he's crazy, and he gave up and he walked away. What is he supposed to do? You literally won't talk to him. You don't, I don't know. It seems like she's putting in no effort into trying to make anything better ever, letting him like, okay, there you go. Look like a crazy asshole, and I'll get my Ariana Madix check. when this all ends. But then even like she, you know, they talk down in their room after that at some point. I don't remember like when this happened. And he says, I'm sorry again. He says, I'm sorry for like multiple things. And she's like, that's not what you should be apologizing for.
You don't want to say anything, you're just gonna go out?
I was trying to talk to you upstairs.
But you're talking about yourself.
I'm sorry for saying what I said. I'm sorry for saying F you. I'm sorry for ruining dinner. I'm sorry for ruining the night.
That's not what you should be sorry for.
I'm sorry I lost my I've been at the breaking point all summer long.
And
Okay.
I haven't. You don't express yourself at all unless it's screaming.
It's not true, but okay.
What do you want? I don't like, even for him, I genuinely am starting to understand. I feel like she like gaslights him. It's like, what are we talking about anymore? What are you upset about? Like, I didn't even know. I'd like apologize for my whole life. I don't know what you want from me. So I don't know. I really felt for Kyle in this past episode. Like I said, not trying to erase anything he's ever done. She is pushing him to the brink to make him look like an insane person. And obviously he's falling into the trap. I will say this. I saw this the other day on, I don't know, I think I was on TikTok or something. And this lady was like, you need to like not let people control your emotions. You need to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. Thermometers, you know, they go up and down, but thermostat sets the temperature. You need to be the thermostat, set the temperature, Kyle. You need to like play cool, calm, and collected. And it's hard, don't get me wrong. I'm also a person who like, if I were in that situation, I would feel very alone and like I would get frustrated and annoyed. You need to be the one, you know, not get riled up. Don't let it get to you. And I think he's handling it better now, but anyway, because it's hard because when you're the person who loses control and you get mad and angry like that, you look like the loser in that situation. That's all I have to say, I think, on the situation. It was such a crazy episode. It's taken me so long to get back into talking about this. Like I said, I've been out of town and then every episode, something new happens. So the reunion is also happening soon. They already recorded it. I never talked about this, but there was leaked audio. I heard part of it. I am so excited to, I'm not gonna play it or anything, obviously, because I don't want to get in trouble, but the leaked audio is so crazy, but I'm so excited for this reunion and to see what happens. I kind of hope they also talk about this fight at the reunion. I don't know if that'll happen. I feel like usually the last few episodes after they film the reunion tend not to really get talked about, so we'll see. And I mean, I hope obviously the majority of the reunion is just about this Kyle, West, Amanda, Ciara situation. That's what I'm interested in and watching for, and I'm sure everybody else is too, so I can't wait to see that. I will probably end up talking about the reunion too on here, so stay tuned for that. We'll see also if the next couple episodes are interesting. I don't know how many are left really, but we'll see if there's anything interesting that happens. I'll probably come on here and talk about it. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.